Hey, Tennis Tenacity fans! Today we're diving into the thrilling world of the ATP Tour. And trust me, it's not just about tennis balls and rackets. So how many tournaments do you think will happen around the world on the ATP Tour in 2024? We're talking over 60 events in nearly 30 countries. That's more globe-trotting than a backpacking adventure. But wait, there's more. Ever wondered how players decide which tournaments to grace with their presence? It's a carefully calculated decision based on their Pepperstone ATP ranking, prize money, and personal preferences. Now let's dive into the Pepperstone ATP rankings. Players fight tooth and nail to earn those points, and you'll see why. Next, we've got the ATP 250, ATP 500, ATP Masters 1000 events, and Grand Slams. All about those juicy Pepperstone ATP ranking points. And tennis isn't just about pristine grass courts. We've got hard courts, clay courts, and grass courts, each with its own flavor. Hard courts are like the Switzerland of tennis surfaces, neutral territory. Clay courts, oh boy, they're the slow-mo action heroes with longer rallies. And grass courts, well, they're like the daredevils, producing quick and exciting points. But wait, there's a twist. Even on the same surface, court conditions can flip like a pancake from tournament to tournament. It's like tennis players are globe-trotting detectives solving the mystery of every court. Do some players have a secret surface preference? You betcha. Power hitters dig hard or grass courts, while baseline grinders feel right at home on the clay. And speaking of court detectives, ever wondered why players go indoor and outdoor? The ATP Tour offers both, with indoor showdowns heating up when winter's knocking on the door in the Northern Hemisphere. Time for a sneak peek behind the scenes. Ever wonder what a player's day looks like at a tournament? It's more than just smashing tennis balls all day. They relax in the players' lounge, refuel at the dining area, hit the gym in the fitness center, and have medical staff on standby for any hiccups. But here's the twist. Players are super fans too. They cheer for their buddies from the stands, often in their VIP boxes. Imagine your favorite player rooting for another. Now that's tennis camaraderie. Now let's unravel the icy mystery of ice baths. Why do players willingly jump into freezing water? It's all about the recovery. Ice baths reduce inflammation, sore muscles, and get that blood pumping. It's a spa day with an icy twist. Next, let's talk practice, because even tennis champs need to work on their game. Players practice with rallies, drills, and coaching. But during a tournament week, it's like a choreographed dance to conserve energy for the big showdown. Locker room gossip alert. Do tennis players share the same locker room? At joint events, there are separate spaces for men and women. But at the ATP Finals, the top 8 players get their own snazzy locker rooms. It's like a tennis superstar's dream closet. Now let's chat about mingling behind the scenes. Players unwind in dining and lounge areas like undercover agents. You'd never guess they're high-stakes competitors chilling out between matches. But hold on, they're not all business. Tennis stars moonlight as tourists too. When they're not on the court, they're exploring different cities. Imagine Taylor Fritz at Sydney Harbor, or tennis legends at the Burj Khalifa in Dubai. They've got that wanderlust bug. Okay, time for travel buddies. Each player rolls with their entourage, including coaches, fitness gurus, physiotherapists, and mental performance specialists. It's like a mini tennis army on the road. Now anti-doping. Because we're all about fair play, anti-doping officials surprise test players with urine and blood checks, even when they're not on the court. It's like the tennis police making sure everybody's playing by the same rules. And now the points game. Pepperstone ATP rankings are like tennis currency. Players earn points at events worldwide, with the big bucks at ATP Tour events and Grand Slams. The deeper they go, the more points they pocket. Rankings update every Monday, so it's all about consistency. Finally, tournament levels and points. We've got ATP 250, ATP 500, and ATP Masters 1000 events, and guess what? Their champions earn points equal to their names. Grand Slam champs? A massive 2,000 points. It's like hitting the tennis jackpot. Just to put it in perspective, Novak Djokovic earned the 2023 year-end #1 spot in the ATP rankings for a record-extending 8th time. Carlos Alcaraz finished 2023 at #2 after the two men swapped #1 back and forth repeatedly last year. All right, tennis buffs, we're unlocking the secrets of the Pepperstone ATP rankings and more. So strap in for some tennis-tainment. So how does a player climb those ATP rankings, you ask? Well, it's all about winning matches and bagging points. The higher the tournament's level, the bigger the points. It's like leveling up in a tennis video game. A higher ranking opens doors to bigger events, and players keep hustling to move up those rankings. Now let's talk about the Pepperstone ATP Live Race to Turin. It's like the fresh start of the year for players. Updated after each match, it's a ranking for the calendar year. And guess where it leads? Turin. The Nitto ATP Finals, where the top 8 players show off their skills. It's like the ultimate tennis showdown. And guess what? Every January, it's a clean slate for the race, and players race their hearts out for a spot in Turin. But wait, what's this defending points thing all about? Well, when a player earns ATP points at a tournament, they gotta defend those points the next year at the same event. It's like a game of tennis roulette. Points from the previous year fall off the rankings once the event comes around again. Now let's tackle understanding the draw. What's a draw, you ask? Think of it as the tournament's knockout bracket. It's like the playoffs in sports, or March Madness in college basketball. And here's the fun part. When and how are the draws made? A few days before the tournament kicks off, the draw is revealed. It's all done by hand, no fancy computers. The ATP supervisor and the team make it happen. And guess what? Draws are random, except for those sneaky seeds. Now what's a seed, you wonder? Seeds are like the VIPs of the tournament. They're the top-ranked players who can't face each other early on. It's like having bodyguards until the later rounds. And hey, the top 2 seeds always end up in opposite halves. So it's like a surprise party if they meet in the final. But wait, there's more. Qualifiers, lucky losers, and wild cards. Qualifiers fight their way into the main draw, like underdogs in a sports movie. It's their chance to shine. Lucky losers are the surprise guests. They sneak into the main draw when someone drops out, like getting a ticket to a sold-out concert. And then we have wild cards. They're like golden tickets given to star players or local talents. It's like the tournament's special guest list.